256 of the Radio Impound podcast coming at you from Chandler, Arizona, the pre-Worlds edition. And Jason Rona will be joining us just in a second. He's going to turn the TV down. And there's Jason. There he is.
How we doing?
What's up, J-Ro? Here's your new commercial, by the way, Jason.
Let me talk to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got our new commercial. Rich prepared this for us for the Worlds here, and a lot of Hannah's video footage here, some of her photos, and some of footage from Rich. That video from Chili Bowl, that was my video.
Oh.
So
It's so good. We got to go watch it again.
Yeah. Mayfield dropping off. That's recent. That's the E-Nationals video there. So.
Oh, it is.
All new.
There we go. Wait, what's going on here? I already went past your ad. Where did I go? Oh, yeah. Okay, this is Matt Olson's media company. Am I correct?
That's right. Mod Live Media. Doing a good job here this weekend. I mean, it really hasn't started yet, but he's got a big crew here. More than most. Here's our...
Oh, no apologies.
Yep. So, yeah, today was just a check-in day, and you could mount tires. If you're a racer, you could get your control tires and start mounting them. And they were doing that behind the track outside. So that was the only complaint I've heard was the guys mounting their tires out there in the heat.
Oh, 112?
112. But you know what? Everybody made it. They got it done. Some people took 2 hours mounting their tires. Some people took 30 minutes. But
who's the guys making 2 hours? Like how many? So how many tires do you get for each class?
Well, it's actually unlimited. So most people are mounting like the full amount.
Huh.
Most people are mounting the full amount of tires. Others are just mounting what they think they need to get started.
Oh, okay.
So the guys spending 2 hours out there today probably mounted them all. They probably mounted everything that they wanted to get going and throughout the day.
So the video I have up here is from Olson's channel. And today they did, what's this, pre-Worlds? I think they do a walkthrough of the track here, right?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't honestly watch any of this yet, but I believe what I was told is they kind of, they were doing a little warm-up today, kind of a little session to kind of get going and, let everybody kind of get used to, what they can expect from the coverage from the weekend. So they got Zach Rogers here on the right, and I can't remember, as we talked about earlier, on the left, and then we got on the mic here. This is doing a little track walk is Richard Lake, who is traditionally their announcer at this track in this race. He usually does all the race announcing here, but he's part of the mod crew this weekend.
Oh, okay.
Real veteran racer. Richard's raced a ton. That is his home track. He's kind of sacrificed, a lot of times people will take this opportunity to race, but Richard kind of seemed like he did one of the right things here and helped put on a good show. So Richard is kind of walking people through what the track looks like here on the live video. But to me, the track is pretty straightforward. I'm kind of like impressed in a sense with this layout because I'm impressed in a way that I feel like they didn't overdo it. Lots of times when you have like a big race like this, or something of that nature, people, the tendency is to sometimes overdo the track. But I think they kept things pretty simple. Um, I think they kept it pretty simple with the track layout, and it's the surface itself and just the speed that you have to drive this track at is enough to make it challenging as it is. So I'm impressed with kind of the layout. To me, is going to be pretty straightforward for most, and I think they're going to do a good job with it.
Looks good on the video. I mean, with the green infields.
Yeah, I mean, Larry Tom, I talked to him obviously quite a bit yesterday and today, and he was really relaxed. I thought he would be a little more stressed, but he's not. He looks a little relaxed. He has a great crew, I think, that he put together. He looks really confident in guys like Jake Thayer, who's building the track, maintaining it, in charge of that part. He's got a great crew in tech. But if I just had to do a rough number of the amount of people just here today, doing the track itself, or just helping with the event, I mean, he's got to be in probably the 20 range, I'd say. Just helping with the event. Between Larry, there's probably 2 or 3 people inside. That's 4 right there. You got the couple guys working the track. You got the tech working in tire tech. Then you got the people working in tech itself. There's somebody monitoring the tire mounting area to make sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing. Yeah, I'd say there's at least 20.
Yes, I do. I have the best seat in the house, right in the driver's stand. Justin Joubert. Wow, he doesn't race RC anymore. What's he doing?
So you can see this view here that's going on in the background on your videos, kind of showing from above the bird's eye view here of the track, the pit area there, and you can see they just put in a mister system. So I believe it's just above that. You can see the mister lines, I think, running right there. But every, I don't know what they have the schedule set for, but it seems like, every, 6-7 minutes, whatever the amount is, the sprinklers are going off, keeping things consistent. So there was nobody on the track today. Today was just a check-in and get your tires mounted type of day. And, doing your last minute odds and ends on your car. So everyone looked really busy, even though there was no track time usually. But everyone looked really busy. But honestly, I was pretty impressed because there was no real freakouts.
Freak out?
Yeah, usually people there's some kind of thing that generates in the pits about maybe a rule that they didn't know about or something that doesn't pass tech. And there wasn't really, hey,
I'll be right back.
No problem. I'll be here. Okay. I'll be here. So
Jason's getting a new water heater installed.
Yeah.
At the Airbnb.
Yeah, we woke up this morning and had no hot water, and Paul was on it. He got this is a beautiful house that we're in. I mean, we got 5 or 6 people staying here, so we found that it's been a little easier to get the Airbnb recently, and it's a beautiful house. Guys are playing pool in here. We got a pool table.
Dang.
Maybe
I ought to make the trip out.
Paul was showing Lee how it's done on the pool table.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, we're here.
Kyle's saying here the decals on the track, like the world's decals on the track, look awesome. The banners, and then the Kinwald pit was cool to see those photos today.
Well, I think in one respect here, Larry and the crew at Hobby Action was really smart and selected and worked with Stick It One Graphics to be the title sponsor of the Worlds, and I think what they're getting is they're getting the look that they want. And for the title sponsorship with Stick It One, everything you see that's a banner or a decal, or if you can see in the background, they're zooming in here, you can see the red decals on the wall. So many things made by Stick It One here to make things look nice. The sign on the wall,
Tire Tech, yep.
all that stuff is
The Coca-Cola bottle.
Yeah, everything here is decaled up, courtesy.
Yeah, it looks great.
So yeah, that makes a big difference for coming into a nice event. And what's funny is people really like the way this track looks, but traditionally it doesn't look a lot different than this. It's always really nice. So, I mean, it's honestly
right there. That looks awesome.
Yeah, for me, I mean, it kind of looks like this all the time when we're here. It's just a little dressed up with some more banners.
Yeah. Yeah, but it really looks good. Look at that.
Yeah.
Man, I'd love to be underneath there and getting misted there with that.
Yeah, I mean, when it's 112 degrees, that little mist would be nice outside. So we're doing good. It was a good day on the track, or a good day in the facility. Everybody kind of getting set up and tuned in. Whatever they can do, mount their bodies, wings, go out and mount their tires. You can see here's another side of the track. You can see they have a little bleacher set up there for spectators. There's actually a VIP area also where we got 2 spots reserved in the VIP area.
What?
Yeah.
I'm coming out.
And here's a
leaving Wednesday.
Jump on top, a little single 180.
Yeah, Kyle was saying it actually looks professional and thought out.
Yeah, the advantage here that they have is they put on a lot of events per year. So they have a really good idea of what to expect when it comes to, having an event and, having the pits full, what they kind of need, what they don't need. And so, yeah, I think just having the experience, they hit the nail on the head here, picking this kind of location. And because they have the experience to probably do this right. And man, just in addition to this, I had someone talk to me today that they already started talking about the 2025 World Championships. And that's going to be in Australia for 10 scale.
Oh.
And so that's back in Australia in is it Sydney? I think Sydney, Australia is the next 10 scale Worlds.
Oh, they already announced it?
They might, I don't know. They might have made the announcement, or maybe I wasn't aware of it. But when the guy brought it up to me, it's like it made sense, but I don't know if he had officially announced it. But yeah, the Worlds in 2025 is going to be in Australia. So we were just there in Perth in 2018 for the 8 scale Worlds. And, and kind of when we went there and we left, I kind of felt like I'm probably never coming back here again. But, yeah, they made the announcement.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, we'll be back there. So, and you know what? We had a great experience, the last time we did it, and different location, but I think we were actually in Sydney. We stopped there on one of our layovers. So, yeah, it's not an easy flight, but yeah, you know what? We'll be back.
Garrett's asking, is there going to be an opening ceremony?
Yeah, they traditionally always do that. I'm not sure if they'll do it late tomorrow or they'll do it late Monday. I'm not sure when it's going to be. I think I have a schedule. I can pull it up.
Chris is asking, what time should we expect the Magic Man on the track? That's all that matters.
I don't think Joel is going to be running this weekend.
Damn.
But I mean, you know what? Yeah, he could surprise us, right? He's
Magic.
He could be Magic at any time.
Jason Santos says, Gotti, your car was waiting for you at the Vonats. That I heard. Thank you. I did not show up. I said, though, in advance I was not going to that. But I appreciate it. Very kind of you. And Nick.
I don't see on the schedule. I don't see on the schedule the opening ceremony.
I think there is, though. I thought it was on there for tomorrow. Hobby action. Oh yeah.
I mean, they traditionally always do it, so I think they'll have it.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, update. Yeah, if you want to go to our Facebook page, Hannah already started the photo gallery for the event, so everything's looking pretty good there. Getting the photos up and running. We're gonna do some videos probably starting tomorrow. We're gonna do some driver profile with a graphic for our drivers. We're gonna start rolling those out probably tomorrow. Hannah's been working on that along with Tyler, so they're kind of doing a good job together working on that. Start rolling those out maybe tomorrow. So let's see what else. We got some display. We got a display here this weekend. Brought some new decals for the pits. Got a couple new products. Couple new products we're showing off. That's a photo you're showing there of that was Tire Tech. All those boxes are each racer's tires.
Bang.
So when you want to do a tire tech, it's a lot of work.
Tire impound.
Yep. Tire impound.
I have to change the radio impound to tire impound.
I mean, and honestly, at this point, it would make pretty good sense for it to be a tire impound podcast.
Yeah, since you guys don't impound radios anymore.
Yeah.
Randy's saying that he loves that they are running 4-wheel drive first to groove up the track for 2-wheel drive. That should be the way they do it from now on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and plus 2-wheel drive is the premier class.
Yeah, let's not kid ourselves. 2-wheel drive, you finish with the premier class, right?
Yeah, when I heard it was going first, originally it was going first, right?
That's right, yeah.
And then with me, in my influence, they switched it.
Yeah, you emailed it in to Larry and to IFMAR. You put in your suggestion, and it's like, boom.
Right, and it was on the pod where I said, look, we got to change 2-wheel. And they did. Probably like a couple days later. So appreciate that.
Yeah, so we're here. One of the questions we had in the with our guy Kirby, obviously he likes to joke around with us, but he was asking, at an event like this, why do we even come if it's a controlled tire? I was kind of bummed.
I was like, damn. Like, I used to love those tire wars back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, that's what, Kirby's fun, but man. What we do is, a big part of what I like in this business is I like the tires and wheels, obviously, but the bodies, the wings, the accessories, and that's a big, that's what we make, right? So not only do we make the tires, but we also do the wheels, the bodies, the wings, and the accessories. And even though at an event like this, we run a controlled tire, I think it's important because we're here supporting our drivers no matter what. And if you're racing for us, And we have a little over 50 drivers at this event, and we're here with product. We have tires. We have two-wheel front tires open, so we did bring some of those. We also brought extra wheels and wings, and me and Paul were busy working on that stuff already for drivers, and we want to support our guys. We want to win. You're looking at the pictures here from the track behind us. That's Mayfield's car with the P2 body on it. And so we're serious about this no matter what. We're here to support our guys. We're really the only accessory manufacturer here in this capacity. AKA, for Justin Juber asking what the control tire, it's AKA Slicks is the control tire. And everybody's ran them quite a bit in practice, kind of testing and tuning. There's a picture of Justin Green, his first Worlds. But the difference here is there's the tire mounting area. You see how packed that was?
Yeah. Kyle's saying top 3 picks. Who do you think will do well considering the controlled tire situation?
I think the best 3 drivers that I've seen on this track. Now, I've never seen. I haven't seen a couple guys run. I haven't seen Marcus Korup, who is the current European champion in two-wheel drive. I haven't seen him run in person. And I haven't seen Davide Ungaro drive this track. And I feel that those guys are going to be very quick. But the fastest 3 guys I've seen in person on this track are Spencer, Dakota, and Brock. Those are the 3 fastest. And of course, there's a third, fourth. You know what I mean? There's a third, fourth, fifth, sixth. I mean, we got tons of fast drivers, of course. But I think those are the 3 best drivers I've seen on this track in person. And I expect those guys to be in the thick of things. And they've done it. They've raced well. There's the box where you put your tires in. Each driver has a box for their tires. So I expect those 3 drivers to be in contention in both classes. And then, there's always there's a couple guys that'll surprise you every event or every week. That will, for whatever reason, they're running well that week, or you didn't see it coming. They're a little bit, a little bit on the down low, and then they just come in and they're quick. So there's bound to be somebody. There's going to be a couple. And then we have our KG veterans, right? The Ryan Mayfields, the Ryan Cavallari's, the Dustin Evans. Those 3 guys could make some noise, depending on how they're, are they feeling it? Are they feeling that layout? So much of it probably depends on that.
Yeah, that's a cool entryway.
Yeah, so this is, traditionally it's one of the best entryways at any of the track you go to anyway, because it's got the doors that auto open doors. That is very rare. You go to an RC track that has auto open doors, but this one does. And they decaled it up, and it looks amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're going to do when the event's over. Do you leave it up there for the rest of the year? I guess you leave it up the rest of the year probably, right?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I would leave it up until the next Worlds. Looks cool. I wouldn't want to take that down.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think we talked about this the other day, but.
Or you can get something that says home of the 2023 World Championships.
Yeah, you just get another little sticker made and you just put up their home of.
Yeah, something like that. You could take the date down.
Yeah. Yeah, I was talking to Paul or somebody about this the other day, and I mentioned that normally you're interested. Who's going to win? Who's going to be in the top three? Who's going to be your favorite? But I'm interested to see a lot of different things this time. Just who is going to make the main? Who are your top 10 guys? Who's going to? And then it's like the B main, the C main, the D main. These are going to be loaded main events. So not only are just the A main going to be, quick and fast, but B, C, D main. I mean, it's you got 50 guys here, 50 racers that are amazing, and it's probably deeper than that, but at least 50 are extremely good. So you're gonna see some good stuff.
That's cool right there too. That looks really, really good. Wrapped
Yeah,
the brick.
essentially wrapped right over the brick, and you still kind of have that look of the brick sunken in there a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm sure that wasn't easy.
Oh no, there's your favorite. Race your way over to Starbucks. Only
Yes.
100. How many? 150 meters away.
Yeah, I think it's
you're in
funny
heaven.
that they used meters, but
Yeah, I know. I'm 150 meters. Let me translate. Let's see what that is here.
but yeah, it is. It's in the same parking lot, and I expect them to be pretty busy the entire time.
Alex Sturgeon saying, "Oh yeah, at the hotel working on the wheeler, and we get a rip cast." Wait, Alex is at the Worlds?
Yep, he's racing.
Wow, damn. All right, let's go. I should have showed up for this, Jason.
He's well, throw my
John Bolt saying, "Good luck, Alex." There you go.
Yeah, saw Alex today. He kind of did it right. He drove out with his sister from, Omaha, and they
Omaha.
They saw a bunch of sights, took a lot of photos, and it's not often you probably get to make a trip like that with your family, and then sort of your destination is kind of getting to race, right? You get to run this big event, and
killing two birds with one stone there.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's tough because I've been doing this a long time, and I'm not going to say that I'm a little jaded, but when you've done this a lot and you go to a lot of events, I've raced in a lot of these myself. Sometimes you forget that it is a really big thing to do, right? Like, it's to be involved in any capacity is a really neat thing to do. And a lot of drivers here experiencing this, you can see that. You can see that in their attitude. You can see it in everything that they're doing, and kind of there's a lot of excitement, and so yeah, it's nice to see.
So John translated the 154. So it's 164 yards to Starbucks.
So what's a football field? 100 yards?
Yep. Very good.
So yeah, I mean,
it's not that bad.
It's not that far.
130 miles to Selinsgrove from LCRC.
Correct. Yeah.
Right. Thankfully, you had me to deliver it. Joe saying, Gotti, thanks for the StreamYard help. Yeah, no problem, man. Yep, Joe Zer on his Ran Out of Town podcast went to video just recently, so no problem, Joe. Chris is saying, have always loved the IFMAR logo. It triggers the brain, the real deal.
Yeah, there is something about it that's cool.
Yeah. Alex is saying the drive was awesome, but by the end of the day yesterday, I was ready to get here. He's probably like in Chevy Chase on vacation. All right, let's go. Look at. His girlfriend stopped and looking at this, or would you say his sister went with him, right?
Sister. Yep.
His sister went with him, so his sister's like trying to take in the sight, and Alex is like, "Come on, come on."
I wonder if Alex had one of those moments like in the first Vacation where it's raining and he's like, he stops the car.
Yeah.
And Chevy Chase, I think you're all effed in the head. He just starts yelling at his whole family.
Will Britton's racing his sprint car tonight. Okay.
Will's doing the Worlds.
Where's he racing the sprint car at?
I don't know.
John Bolton says Starbucks drinks all week on Gotti and the Rip Black Card. Yeah, Jason makes me order it. Like when he goes away to these trips, I have to log in the Starbucks app, place the order. Jason picks it up.
Add some money to the card.
Yeah. Got some vacation references here in the chat. Will saying where he ties the dog to the bumper.
Yeah, it's true. I mean,
poor little guy probably kept up for a mile or two.
His whole like pretending to be sad. Chevy Chase.
Show him the collar. Yep, there it is.
He goes back to the window. What'd you do, Clark? Oh, the guy says, I'll go back and clean the rest of the carpet off the road.
And then she put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
Jake Engstrom building another touring car. So he's building another touring car and he's listening to the Ripcast. Perfect night. It doesn't get any better than that.
Joe Zaire mentioned earlier. Jeff Parker is here.
And is he living down to his worst potential, Jason?
No, he's here. He's representing IFMAR, it looks like. I haven't talked to him yet. I usually talk to him quite a bit, but I haven't gotten a chance to talk to him. Clayton is here from Roar. Saw him. He handed out all the T-shirts.
Alex walking out of his room tomorrow. Shitter's full.
We're mixing vacations now.
Yeah, we got vacation references going on.
What is there, 3 or 4 of those? Well, there's the first one, then there's European. 30. Then there's European vacation, right? Third one is Vegas.
Oh yeah, that's right. Vegas and then Christmas. Or
Christmas then Vegas.
Yeah, Christmas then Vegas. And then the most recent one, I guess, mid 2000s or what? When was that? 2015, 2015-ish.
Does that even count?
I don't know. No, not really. I remember you went to the movie theater though, to see it.
I did.
Yeah, you did.
Whew. Yeah, it's probably pretty bad.
It actually, I mean, obviously it doesn't. They probably should have never touched it, but it was with Christina Applegate in it. Remember?
Yeah.
It actually wasn't that bad. Like it wasn't.
You know what's amazing?
I mean,
is Christy Brinkley.
Right. Still looks
unbelievable.
Yeah. I think you sent me a photo and I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah. In the 80s, she was obviously everything. She was in that original movie in the Ferrari. She was kind of the dream girl.
Yeah.
And today she's just a still beautiful. I don't know how old she is, like 65 or I don't know. It's nuts.
Yeah.
But obviously,
look it.
Obviously, when you got it, you got it. I'm sure there's a lot of things that help along the way, but still, when you got it, you got it.
RJ saying it was meh, the new one.
It was.
I mean, it's okay. It's not. It wasn't bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's just hard to beat the. I mean, really, Chevy Chase makes those movies. If he's not in it, it doesn't work.
I really liked Vegas Vacation, and that really wasn't a popular one either. But
yeah, it's good too. It's just at the tail end of his like run, right?
Yeah. Garrett's saying, yes, she is. You're right, Jason. She is gorgeous.
Yeah.
And Vegas and Christmas were the best, in my opinion. Okay, see, I vote for Vegas. I really enjoyed Vegas. Yeah. RJ saying, my dad, he's quoting here now. My daddy says I'm the best French kisser.
I think what it really is he says
Vegas is a sleeper.
The girl says, and I French kiss, and she says, well, everybody does that, but then she says, yeah, but Daddy says I'm the best at it. I mean, the fact that to me, the writing on the first vacation is the best. I think everybody is kind of in their prime. That's like Chevy Chase's prime. And then you got Cousin Eddie, who just a lot of people, I think, in their prime in that first version.
Joe's voting for Vacation, the original, and Vegas. So yeah, Vegas votes, eh? Mr. Papa Giorgio in Vegas. Remember that?
Yeah.
I mean, it was so good.
And Adam bringing up here, I mean, we'll start with Will. This is so funny. We're like completely off. So anyway, yeah, they're in the living room, right? They're talking, and they're talking about how much money Eddie could use, and Clark is like, how much money do you need, Eddie? I mean, he's pulling out his wallet.
Yeah.
Eddie goes, around $52,000. He starts shoving the money back in his wallet.
Yeah. Oh man.
And then the Adam rails the best that you just can't. I mean, we use this at the track all the time. When you have a bad, like your car's working really bad, and you come back and it's like, you think you hate it now, but wait till you drive it. The family truckster.
Corey Jordan checking in, left tire salute.
Look at that engine in his and he's checking in from YouTube.
Yeah. Gotta get guys to go over to YouTube. Tell a friend. Subscribe over there. In case Facebook ever gets taken down.
In case.
Yeah. RJ's saying he wish he could post a picture here. I have a sign over my TV year round, shitter's full. Awesome.
That in this we have the perfect location up here at the Airbnb. You could put a banner like that up here. It wouldn't go with their like theme that they got going here. But
what's the theme in that Airbnb?
Clocks. There's clocks everywhere.
That's a little spooky, to be honest with you.
Yeah, there's like 11 clocks on the wall over here.
Are they working?
No, they're all set to different times.
Yeah, so maybe they're set to like, East Coast, and then John Bolton saying family truckster slash body equals printing money.
Yeah, it'd be a nice stick decal package for that. You'd have that wood grain with the what color is that? Like puke green or something?
Yeah, I would say that puke green from the 70s.
Then you put that wood grain along the side. And
diarrhea green.
You could do a couple decal sets. You could put Clark above the door like the driver.
Might have to get permission to do that though.
How about when he's driving and Christy Brinkley pulls up next to him, and he's hauling ass, catching up to her, and the wife wakes up, slow He's like sweating, and She's
He's like with his bread. He's like kissing the bread.
then
Oh
after
man.
she's done yelling at him, he starts singing that song, "Love for Sale."
Yeah. RPM could make a dead grandma to put on the roof, Jason.
Yeah, it could go with the Dirty Danglers.
Oh, dude. This episode. Oh my god.
Pre-worlds, man.
Pre-world.
I mean, yeah, I mean, we're.
But it's
I don't even know how
Alex
we
got us on this theme.
Oh, we got on this because of Alex driving across country.
Yeah.
Alex's fault.
Jeff Todd says the dog peed on the sandwiches. Yeah, and keeps eating.
Yeah, she's like,
Yeah, I think she smells it. She's like, whatever.
it's not bad.
I can't continue. Go ahead, Jason. This is great.
Yeah, you talked about Joe's mentioning the car salesman, and and it's Eugene Levy was the car salesman.
Adam saying when he sees her at the rest stop smacking himself with a dog piss bologna sandwich. Andy wants to know if Alex Sturgeon stopped by to see his cousin Eddie.
He's like hits himself with the shoe. Yeah. Damn metal plate in my head.
Yeah. Corey Jordan trying to get us back on track. When does the world start up?
This is the vacation podcast.
I'm not laughing at you, Corey. I'm just laughing at we really Corey getting us back on track.
Yeah, Corey, practice starts tomorrow for 4-wheel drive, and today was just check in, mount your tires, and they set the heats. And practice will start tomorrow. 4-wheel drive only, so it's 4-wheel drive for until Tuesday. The main events are on Tuesday for 4-wheel, and then we start all over again on Wednesday for 2-wheel drive. 2 separate events.
Right.
The other part that was funny in that movie is when he says the car he originally ordered, I thought you ordered the little sports thing, the blue super sports wagon,
Right. Yeah.
He gets home with the family truckster, and she's like, I thought you ordered the little blue sports thing. Sports was too small. Plus, right. I got a great deal on this one.
The headlights on the front, so good. Andy's saying idea for a new J concept shirt. Combine JCon and vacation for a cool concept shirt.
I mean, what a very cool movie poster, and what they used for that movie was great. That cover where Chevy Chase is standing, he's kind of got his hands in the air. You know what I'm talking about? Find that movie poster. It's a great art piece.
Okay.
Yeah, Chris Lemon, the rally fun pack. Is a rally fun pack.
Oh shit. Vacation movie poster, right?
Yeah.
But it was the one drawing.
Yeah, it's a really nice art piece. He's got a wife around one leg, and then Christy Brinkley's on the other, I think.
Oh, there's some cool stuff here. Oh, I forgot about Christmas Vacation 2. God, that was bad.
Oh, I don't even know if I remember that one.
Yeah, don't even watch it. Don't bother.
Good.
Yeah. think right here I got
Yeah, there it is.
it.
That is a fantastic art piece.
There you go. Wow. There's a lot going on in there.
Yeah, I mean, look at it. They got the dog, and then like the dog is like barking at a snake. Christy Brinkley is pulling on one of his legs. His wife is on the other. He's got a tennis racket in his hand for some reason.
And golf clubs. I guess stuff that you take on vacation.
Yeah. How about when he goes into the
Remember.
hotel? He goes into the hotel with those new shoes on that Eddie gave him, and she comes to his table, Christy Brinkley. She's like, he's like, the family's just a disguise. Truth
Yeah.
is, I own this motel.
Yeah.
2,200 units nationwide.
On
She's
Christmas vacation when he's shopping for his wife. God rest her soul.
like, their soul.
When he meets up with that hot chick.
Yeah.
Oh, you shopping for your wife? Huh? What? Oh. Will Britton saying, he's talking to Andy here in chat. Got guys talking to chat to each other here about the family truckster body could be Andy's street stock body. There you go. Jake Ingstrom saying that the movie posted there is Star Wars-esque.
Yeah, I mean, it's just something that was done in the 80s. That was a lot of good stuff. What's weird is how much it looks like Christy Brinkley, but the wife doesn't look like his wife at all.
Yeah, I could see that.
I mean, they made sure to get her right. They got Christy Brinkley right.
Yeah, perfect.
Yep.
Here's where he tried to jump the Grand Canyon.
Dad, you must have jumped that thing 50 yards.
Or the that's when road was closed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing to be proud of, Russ. 50 yards.
Oh man, Jason, Jeff Todd saying your ability to quote lines and scenes for this is classic. This classic is epic. Good talk, Russ. Anyway. So, well, hopefully Alex Sturgeon's trip out there was sort of like this.
Stopped in Dodge City. Got pretend blown away by the cranky guy behind the bar. Are you happy now, Clark? She's deaf.
Oh man.
We got another log on here from Tire Sun.
I can't even read it. Good morning, now he's saying so.
Mm-hmm. Hand pink waving.
Again, head over on YouTube, give us a sub, tell a friend.
Yeah, obviously, if anybody in here's got any worlds questions, we can talk about that and talk about the worlds. We kind of went over a little bit earlier, whatever happened today. Not much, kind of just a setup, Mount Tire kind of day. But if anybody wants to talk worlds, let's bring up a question, talk about it.
I should have put a link out there, just let people jump in if they wanted to.
Hold on here.
Not a bad idea.
Hold, please.
We're still getting quotes from the movie, so
I mean, how can you not, though?
Yeah. Chris is asking, do the slicks wear a lot?
That's a good question. I mean, I've heard drivers racing here a bunch using the same tires over and over. And then I've heard, but most people are mounting new ones for every run because I think they're just feeling it. They're in the moment. They're like, hey, if I heard Spencer's mounting new tires for every run, I'm mounting new tires for every run. But I mean, they don't wear. I mean, you could probably run. I know when we run our tires here for the other big races, I think we usually try to stay in like the 3-run range, 3 to 4 runs. I think is kind of the end of where you like to be good and fast all at the same time. I mean, of course, you can go a lot longer than that if you want, but if you're racing in the pro level, everybody here wants to race, of course, on the pro level. So they're mounting as many as they can. I don't think you need it, but that's what happens. So, but the wear is minimal. I'd say if you just went out there and ran, you could probably run 10 times.
What's the max number of sets? Looking forward to watching.
It's unlimited. You can mount as many as you want.
So what do the guys typically mount? Like, is there a cutoff point? They're like, that's enough. Good right there.
I think most guys today were mounting 6 sets. That's what I saw most today. So I think there's some out there that are going to mount the 6 sets. They're going to go into each practice run with a brand new set, and then they'll have it broken in for one run when they want to qualify. I wouldn't be surprised there'll be people that run brand new ones, just because sometimes they'll have a great run with a brand new set of tires, and they come back and they just say, you know what, this is what I'm going to do. It's the Worlds, and they just do what they think is necessary.
Jeff Todd saying he saw a post on Facebook that they ran short of 4-wheel drive fronts. More coming tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah, I heard that. I think they ran out of 4-wheel fronts, and I'm not exactly sure why they ran out of them, but they did. I'm sure they'll get some. I'm sure they'll get some out. I mean, this is not something that. I mean, it does happen at these races. You do sometimes run out of stuff, and you got to, go to plan B, get some more in, and keep rocking. But, usually it's because, and maybe they were already expecting more to come in anyway, but, usually what ends up happening is people just mount too many to start with. I mean, when you're out there for 2 hours mounting tires, you're mounting quite a few. And I mean, we're talking about, you have tomorrow, there is, I think, do you get 6 runs tomorrow? I think it's 6 runs tomorrow. Let's make sure. Yeah, so there's 4 rounds of free practice and then 2 controlled. So you're going to get 6 runs tomorrow. So people mounted a new set of, most people mounted a new set of tires for every, and now this isn't a qualifier, this is practice. They mounted a new set of tires for every practice run. But sometimes that's an anticipation that you're going to use them after one run for actually for qualifying. So you go through a lot.
Alex is saying 5 sets for him, 2 hours of gluing. It was a blast.
Yeah.
With a little hint of sarcasm there.
Yeah, I mean, it's Mayfield said he was down there. He said he did it quick, but he's like, when it comes to getting stuff done, we've talked about it before on the podcast. He's like no other. When he decides he's going to rebuild the car or do the shocks or mount tires, it happens now. And but yeah.
Alex is also mounting tires tonight for the free practice.
Yeah, so the situation is there's 4 rounds of free practice, which you don't have to have officially tech tires in free practice, usually just for the control practice. So Alex is kind of being a little smart. Maybe he brought them from home and didn't have to pay the full price from the hobby shop here. Maybe, I don't know, but that's perfectly fine.
Will saying nothing's going to grip like new rubber.
I mean, that's what I'm sure people hope that. That's, you know what? There's something about, it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter in any of these races. Sometimes it just feels good to start a big qualifier on a fresh set of tires, because inevitably maybe there wasn't something you were happy about with the last run or something like that, and then you're just thinking, starting with a brand new set of tires, it just feels good. It feels like, you know what, this could be a magical set. This could be, you know what I mean? Like, you never know.
Alex is saying he paid full price, laughing out loud.
They thank you for the support.
Yeah, you gotta look at that that way. They're helping out. Oh, there's Matt right up there.
No, that was Chris.
Oh,
those guys were just at our turf race in Connecticut, so they're working hard.
Oh, which, by the way, give us a little rundown there. How did you do?
You know what? I'm disappointed that you weren't there, because I drove so well at the Turf Nationals.
Yeah, I watched it. I watched it on the.
You know what? And I've been telling people, like, I was talking to Spencer, I was talking to Lee, I was talking to several others, and I was like, go back and watch my A3, man, and two-wheel mod. I'm like, I actually looked like I was fast. And nobody go back and watch it. I can't get anybody. I can't get anybody to go watch it.
Yeah. They're probably like, yeah, I'll check it out.
Yeah, exactly. Spencer's like, yeah, I'll go look. Nothing.
Yeah. Did you check that out yet? No.
Nah, sorry.
Not yet. I will. After the Worlds, maybe.
The track felt the same as I always did. I did a little race report afterwards on Facebook, just because trying to set the right example, and talked about how the track felt as good or better than it ever had to me. It's the best car I've ever had there. It's my car. Was straight off the track from the Carpet Nationals, which we ran in March or April at Beachline. That was the last time I raced on a surface like that. I ran the exact same car with different tires, and that's the best car I've ever had there. And for some reason, that's the best I've driven probably in 5 years at least.
Wow. Jeez.
Yeah, I was like, wow. I had people messaging me, asking me, why I don't race more, and man, you should get back into it. You're doing so good. And I was just like, that's nice. I mean, it's nice that got people behind me, like Edwin Maturius and these guys that I've raced with for years. Paul was messaging me, and Tyler. It's nice. There's nothing like, in this or in anything, there's nothing like feeling like you did well, or your best, I guess you could say. You did your best. And that's really what this world comes down to for everybody that's racing. Is it's like, just do your best. It's not trying to, get an accomplishment done that is way out of your league, or, you don't show up to the Worlds going, man, I want to do exactly what Spencer or whoever the Spencer is of the weekend. You know what I mean? What you got to be able to do is you have to do your best. And that's how you kind of walk away with a good feeling about it. Like Alex, he's capable of having a weekend that, he goes out, and if he runs like he did there, was he at our race? Was that in December last December. Anyway, he was running good qualifiers, clean races. If you do that, you can run 5 minutes with very little mistakes. Let it the the results are what they are. You did what you could do, and I think that's what a lot of the racers doing this need to concentrate on, is doing their best.
That's right, Chris. Absolutely. The Magic Man can win the whole thing with one set of tires, Jason. That's all you need.
I mean, as a former world champ, he could probably just show up and they'd put him right into the race so he could prove it.
Yeah.
Not too late. Practice starts tomorrow. We saw a guy. This is a good one. We saw a guy today with a brand new kit, and he said that he was going to run it tomorrow. He hadn't even built it yet. He's signed up to run. He's gonna run it tomorrow for the first time.
Wow. What kind of kit?
It was a Associated B74.2.
Okay.
He was asking people setup, and they had told me
they were telling them the wrong answers.
No, they're just like, wait, do you have a car with you? And he's like, no, I got to build it tonight.
And he's going to run the Worlds?
Yes.
Well, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
How can he run the Worlds?
He signed up, but he just got his he just got the kit. He's going to build it here. I mean, he already made he's signed up. He did everything.
When he signed up?
Yeah, I mean, he did everything he needed to do to be in the Worlds.
Oh, okay. All right.
And,
that was just some guy off the street.
No. He did everything he needed. He's a really good driver.
No, they should put one guy in there like that's just off the street. See what happens.
Yeah, just to give you some perspective.
Yeah, some RC dude, but that just started. You allow one person to enter that just started.
Isn't that like a joke online that in any Olympic event they should put a average person? They should have an average person compete so you can see the difference.
Exactly. Watch the guy win though, or at least contend.
Actually, he's a really good driver. I mean, he will have good results. He's just got to get it built tonight.
Yeah, Tom Bishop saying, just build it and send it. Bobby Lang, top fan, checking in. Sweet. Gotta love those top fans.
Nothing wrong with being a top fan.
Yeah, John Bolton saying his car would hit everything and never break.
That's Joel, right?
Absolutely. Magic Man.
Can do no wrong.
Of course, he's not going to hit anything, though.
Well, yeah, that's if he hits some. I mean, he's not going to.
Right.
I mean, come on.
I keep checking to see if my Joel Johnson edition Ultima shipped, but nothing yet.
I saw one person with one.
What? Where?
Like, it was just a photo. Like, they posted a photo, and I don't know where they got it, but it was like actual kit. Like, it was like in his, like on his table or something.
Oh, dang. All right. Well, mine didn't ship yet. So I did have someone send me photos of the kits in the warehouse over in Kyosho. Like,
it was a lot too. There was a lot.
Yeah, it was a massive amount. I'm like, because he sent me photos of it, and he's like, I think you'll be okay. You're gonna get yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, the average Joe guy versus the pro guy. That'd be awesome. Well, maybe not so awesome, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Just throw the average Joe at the Worlds. See where he places.
It's funny in the video how like you can't like the surface of the track looks almost like perfect in the.
Yeah, right here it looks amazing. Yeah, just smooth like glass.
I mean, in person it's not quite that. You know what I mean? You can see the.
Right here you can see.
Yeah, a little bit, but yeah it's. I talked to Jake today, who's store manager there, and he spent a lot of time building this track, and yeah, he said he goes, we thought this was really going to take a long time to build the track, but he's like, it kind of fell together. He's like, he he's like, the track build went really quick. He said they were done super fast. So
Wow. Randy's saying he saw a video on YouTube of the Joel Johnson Ultima unboxing last week.
I know
It's probably one of those influencers.
What?
I guess you better get going, Paul Winder at Cooper's.
I like that place. That's messed up.
Well, how did you not get an invite to that?
I did.
You turned...
Huh. Look at the commitment level.
That is commitment. I appreciate that. We appreciate that. The Rip fans, the Rip heads. Now Jason's texting them, you bastards.
Yeah. Gotta make sure we get something.
Well, it's still pretty early there. If we log off here, you can run over there quick. Checkered Pass. What's up? What's going on? YouTube
check-in. Perfect.
So, yeah, this track looks really nice, man. It's going to be awesome to watch this. Yeah.
So that was another thing. Tom kind of brought it up here. Tom Bishop, he was there with Andrew at the Turf Nats, and he had his full little spread of food out there for us. He had brought in the Swedish fish, as he talked about. He had burgers he was cooking. He made a grilled chicken one day.
Wow.
Tom, I told Rose today that you were a almost perfect substitute for Rose, because Rose Kaufman usually does a lot of the cooking and treats us all like family at these races. And I told her that Tom was a very reliable substitute. So
there you go. A big endorsement from Jason Rowe. And you were talking about the Swedish fishes that he brought. What do you have there tonight with you, Jason? Share it.
Well, Allison and Hannah earlier yesterday
couldn't find Swedish fishes, so he went out and got.
Well, Allison and Hannah went to what the heck's the name of this place? Trader Joe's, and they had the Scandinavian swimmers.
I gotta see this.
Scandinavian swimmers.
It's got to be a ripoff of the Swedish fish.
Yeah, they're totally a ripoff.
Scandinavian swimmers.
And they're good. They're pretty good. Like I'll find a red. Got to find a red one. That's what's best about the Swedish fish is they're all red.
Right. Tom Bishop saying no knockoffs are allowed, Jason. So
we got the knockoffs right here.
Scandinavian swimmers.
It's like it's the first time I'm going to endorse a knockoff.
Wow.
So, here they are.
It looks like what is it? A fish?
It's a lobster.
I was gonna say it looks like a crab.
A little lobster.
Yeah, lobster. Yep. Okay.
They're good.
All right, Jake Engstrom saying he had some last week. I've never heard of them.
Yeah, the Scandinavian swimmers.
All
right, Tom, we gotta have Scandinavian swimmers at the next race. He's like, oh gosh, it's like a bag of. That's like you can get. The thing about going to Trader Joe's is it always seems like a knockoff, but then they charge like 5 times as much.
That was probably like $15.
They are gluten-free.
Oh, well, there you go. Tom Bishop saying I'll have to mail them in. Checkered Pass is saying, is this the Injora of candy?
Doesn't seem to be. Well,
there's a red one.
We'll have one.
So, I mean, is it comparable?
Oh, they're totally comparable.
Really?
Yeah. I bet if you took one of those lobsters and compared it to a Swedish fish with a blind test, I don't think I could tell the difference.
Wow. What do you think of that, Bishop? I don't know. Do you believe that or not? I don't know if I could believe that. Same texture and everything.
It's really close.
Yeah, it does. Checkered pastures. It does sound like something you might order off Wish.
Everything we have in here is from Trader Joe's from last night.
All right. No way, not happening. You can't replace the Swedish fish, according to Bishop.
You know what's really good about the Swedish fish is they offer them in so many different quantity breakdowns. You can get the small packs, like, Tom brought out sort of the quickie pack, right? If you just want like, you want like 11 or 13 Swedish fish, comes in the bag. Or you can go to the bigger bags, or you can go to the family size bag. They got so many variations.
Yeah. Little Halloween ones like that. Like
Yeah,
two
exactly.
in there.
Yeah, exactly. You get the Halloween ones.
Yeah. All right. Scandinavian swimmers.
There's like a whole story on the back. Ow.
That didn't hurt. What's the story about him?
Lobster. Inside this nautically bedecked pouch, you'll find an ocean-inspired shapes: lobsters, dolphins, seahorses, and rockfish. I don't even know what a rockfish is.
I have to Google that.
All adding up to an aquatic assortment of yummy, gummy candies. It says you can take them to the beach or the aquarium or places without water, like the track. Tom's not believing in the hype. He's like, you know what? There's nothing like an original, like a J Concepts S15 body. That's how we would write the press release anyway.
Well, here's a rockfish, if you're interested.
Ugh.
Is that what's in that bag? Okay, well, here we go. Checkered Past is saying, supposedly, according to videos on TikTok and official fact checkers, that Trader Joe's basically buys lots of brand name products and rebrands them under the Trader Joe label.
Probably.
Wow.
I mean, I just don't know how you.
Well, you think they would just repackage the fish then? Why make them lobsters and rockfish? And it seems like something they made. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't exactly know how they work it. But.
All right. Ifmar Worlds. Anybody else have anything? All companies do things like that. Okay.
We got Joe Pillars.
Oh, Joe Pillars. I haven't heard from that dude in ages. I mean, maybe you have, but I don't. Who's gonna have a breakout performance this weekend?
I guess we got to decide what's a breakout performance, right?
So does that mean somebody that you weren't expecting and then they break out and you're like, whoa?
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to have them. Do they have to be in the A? Do they have to be on the podium? I mean, Marcus, who just won the Euros, if he made the main or podiumed, is that breakout?
It's tough.
I say one of the drivers that's gonna have a pretty breakthrough performance is the kid from Japan, Kuki Kato. I think that he's going to probably make both mains. That's, I would say, I'd say Kuki Kato. I think that's how you say his name. I see him doing really well, and I think he's going to be legit. And I don't know that most, I guess in the U.S. probably don't know who he is, but he's a hell of a driver, and he has some experience here. I see him having a great weekend. I think a first-time winner. I do. I think we're going to have one first-time winner. Somebody's going to win. Adam Rails is asking. I think we're going to have one. I don't know that we're going to have two first-time winners, but I think we're going to have at least one.
Interesting. Randy saying he sees Matty G making a main.
I mean, he's one of the drivers that I think has a definite chance to do it. He's kind of in, I would say, of all the people that I've seen working towards this race, I would say Matty G has probably worked maybe the hardest, trying to do well at this particular event. So I think if he made one main in any capacity would be a huge accomplishment, as it would be for anybody. You're only talking about 10 guys. This is not the Psycho Nitro where 20 people make the main. You only get 10. And it's the best drivers in the world. So you have to be one of 10 of the best drivers in the world. Not easy to do, especially today and on a track like this. But yeah, the driver from Japan, Kuki Kato, I see him having a great Worlds. And I also think that it's intriguing to see if Ryan Mayfield and Ryan Cavallari can make both mains or one main, or how they do this. This is probably their biggest challenge, I would say, of their Worlds racing careers, because it's not guaranteed right now. And for many, many years, they were probably penciled in easily. And it's not like that. Maybe there's only 3 guys here that are really easily penciled in. And I think that everybody's got their work cut out for them. It's just, I don't really know how to say it any other way other than it's going to be a battle. And I think you're going to have a couple of these surprises, as we talked about. I don't have like an entry list in front of me, but I believe when they ran the last race here, the World's warm-up, I want to say there was a couple drivers in the main that I think are really looking forward. They feel like this is kind of their moment. I think people like Tater Sontag. I think of Brennan Schimmel. I think of like Lee Setzer. I think of Dominic Passione. These guys ran good at the warm-up race, but that's 4 or 5 guys right there that made a main at the warm-up race. And I think that they kind of feel like, and Matty G, who was one of them, Davey Bata. So those are guys that made the main at the warm-up, who I think have like kind of, in not so many ways, they've kind of targeted themselves as a person that can be in the final. And so, that's a pretty good group of guys right there that I think those are the kind of the names that Joe Pillars is kind of referring to, as people that are kind of, I wouldn't say on the fringe, but they're working hard to be on a pro level. And can they have a breakthrough performance, I think is what Joe's kind of referring to, as somebody that wants to be a pro, or can they be a pro? They think that he believes they have to make a main at this race to become a pro. And that's probably true. So those guys that I just mentioned, I think are they're there. Um, and can you do it on this kind of stage? 3 out of 5 qualifiers. You have to have 3 good ones out of 5. And so, yeah, Dave Bowman here mentioning Chase Lemieux. I think he's another driver. He's right on that. He's in that list that we just mentioned. That made a main at the warm up, that has some ability to do it here. He just got second at the Roar Nationals, I believe, 4-wheel drive. So yeah, it's that's why you just cannot fill it in. You just can't say, oh yeah, this is the crew, right?
Yeah.
I kind of feel like for some reason at the 8 scale world, like I kind of felt like I knew most of who the top 10 or 12 guys were going to be. Maybe maybe I didn't. I don't know. I feel like I knew a few more of them that were going to make the final last year. This year, it's hard to make that call. Jeff Todd asking, Ryan Mayfield is running an Associated B74.2. Gotti had up the photos earlier. We can pull that up again for you. Show you from the J Concepts Facebook page. It was a nice photo. That's why we want to bring it up again. Looks cool.
Yeah, right.
Randy Lockett checking in here. Randy races here all the time. So we should ask Randy who he thinks is going to win. Randy, who do you got? Because I think you typically run TLR cars, but I don't think you really necessarily have any skin in the game. But you can pick them. You can tell us what you think. You've been here. You've seen a lot of these guys run. Tell us what you think. So Ryan Mayfield is running an Associated 2-wheel and 4-wheel. J Concepts supported. Kind of interesting. It's really kind of cool for us in a way. Kind of interesting for us in a way. We had, Ryan's been with us since, one second. Hello? Hold on. I got
the hot water heater guy there. I saw Tom Bishop. He said he saw on Amazon there's Scandinavian swimmers. Which one? Mixed fruit, I guess Jason has, right? So we'll just I see there's 2 bags left. Guess you already got one, so I got to order one quick. Oh, sorry. I didn't know you were back. Sorry. I muted the mic there.
Oh, sorry.
There we go.
I was just saying that we got a picture of Ryan's car, and it's unique for us. We've all these years that Ryan's raced for us. We've bought him some truggies and buggies in the past to race with, but first time we've ever bought him 10 scale buggies to race with. You can see his sponsor assortment here on the car is kind of, we're the top sponsor in this case, which is kind of cool for us. He chose to run the Associated cars. He ran the TLR car. Was it at the Desert Classic or the warm-up race? And he what he said about the TLR car when he ran it was, he's like, I didn't feel like my driving was good enough to take advantage if there was any advantage to running the TLR car, because kind of the narrative is Dakota was doing so well with the TLR that maybe the TLR car was working really well on this track. So we got one for Ryan. Jake built it for him, and Ryan ran it at one of the races. And he said, more than anything, he said it was more of a pain in the ass to try to run 2 different cars. He's like, I had an Associated 2-wheel and I had a TLR 4-wheel. And he said it was just a pain. Like, he's like, a lot of people say, oh, it'd be cool to pick whatever car you want. And he's like, and I could. He goes, I can pick any car. He goes, and you guys just get it. But he's like, for me to have one of each, he's like, I just felt like I wasn't. He's like, I'm going in the hobby shop. I'm getting parts for one, and I got to get parts for a different one, and none of the shocks parts are the same. And he's like, it was just a pain in the ass. And he's like, he's like, I didn't really do that well with it. Not that he couldn't, with a little more running, but he's like, I just felt like I would rather just be on the same platform. He goes, I'm going to pit next to Spencer. Spencer's my buddy at this track in general. And I might as well just run the same cars as him. And whatever I get, I get. So he went with the associated car here. This is the P2 body on it. We just did. So looks cool. We did some special edition car stands. This is one we did a couple different decals here added to it just for fun. Spencer's got a cool car stand. Brock try to do one. We did one for Dakota. Didn't quite turn out perfect, but we made do.
Mm-hmm.
So Randy, who's spent a lot of time at this track, said Matty G looked really good last few times he's been out. So he gave Spencer a run for his money. And I believe it.
Randy's also saying he expects Brock and Dakota to be near the top. Mitch checking in from YouTube says, I like that new decal.
Oh, and to update Paul, he said, any update on the water heater? He went to Home Depot. He got a new one, and he brought it here, and he's got it installed, and he's checking it now.
Sweet. There we go. Gonna have some hot water soon.
Yeah.
They can all come back.
Yeah. So who else do we have here in the chat? They make some predictions or something.
Like I said, Randy expects Brock and Dakota to be near the top.
And I do too.
Dave Bowman. Oh, Chase Lemieux. Yeah, I think you were talking about that earlier.
Yeah. Man, he had an awesome Roar Nationals. And what's interesting about him is I'm trying to think of this at the moment, but he's in a very unique situation because there's not very many like father-son combos where the father in this situation was a really good racer and then can kind of mentor the son. And so he's got a lot of the right things working as an advantage. He's got a great track at trackside where he can practice a lot. He concentrates, I would say, mostly on 10 scale off-road. And he really has it pretty close to being mastered. And, there's nothing like being, a 20-something years old or in your teens racing the worlds. That's the right time period that you want to be doing it. So, and super capable. So yeah, I definitely see that. Like you said, that could be a very big breakthrough. But I mean, he just got second at the Nationals. That's pretty breakthrough too, right? I mean, that's pretty damn good.
So Mayfield's running. Oh, the answer is Mayfield's running associated both classes.
Yep. And we're only seeing 4-wheel drive photos right now because there is only 4-wheel in the program right now. So it's 4-wheel first and 2-wheel. So
2-wheel starts Thursday.
Is that what it is? Yeah. Yeah, sounds right. Yeah, you can see here in the pit area, everybody, this is in the background for people listening, but this is the tire mounting area. These are photos that Hannah shot earlier. And you can see how packed it is. It's completely full. Take your time, you get in line and try to get your spot. And start mounting. It's a big process. This is the biggest, I would say, of the world, the whole world. And this, we talked about this before, but the biggest part about the whole world is this right here, is this mounting entire.
Yeah.
And it is such a
Nobody enjoys it, right?
It's such a big job.
Anybody bouncing their tires there?
Actually, I haven't seen a lot, but I'm sure people do. And the question is, can you balance them? I don't know. I can't remember that.
I was watching some video on YouTube. There's a machine. Somebody made a bouncing machine. They were showing it on YouTube. Put it in there, spins it. And it's digital. And it's like crazy.
Yeah, I mean, the thing I always say about balanced tires is the insert can spin inside the tire. So lots of times when you're balancing this stuff, it comes down to how you glued it and where the insert is, because the insert have a high spot. So if you balance the tire and everything and the insert spins inside there while you're driving, the balance could now change. So
wow. So you could be getting doing it totally wrong.
Yeah, you could be kind of you could have the opposite effect. Now, if you glue your inserts, that could be like a big thing, is you glue the inserts and then you don't have such a, you don't have that chance of spinning. But like I said before, I said if there's an advantage to mount or balancing your tires, it would be in truggy. And I think Mayfield's won more truggy nationals than anybody. And I think he balanced them once because Adam Drake did them for him. And the rest of the wins he has is without balancing them. So, I mean,
wow. Well, there you go. That speaks volumes.
I remember Brad Relfs balanced a pair of tires for me once. I had such a bad run, and I was like, I'm not ever doing that again.
Don't even waste your time.
Yeah, screw that.
Wow.
He did such a great job, too. He balanced them really well, and I was like, man, these things are sweet. And then I just didn't have a great run. I was like,
So you just blame the balance tires?
Yeah. No, I was just like, I'm not doing this again. That was a waste.
That's Tom saying that's almost like the white and yellow rim debate.
Well,
as we got some white and yellow rims here.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is a big thing because Dakota is a serious threat. And
it's a serious thing.
Yeah, it's supposed to be. It's not serious, but
right. Yeah, I know. It's just funny. Drake, Checkard saying Drake's an alien.
You know what? If Dakota wins a class with yellow wheels, I will definitely.
Don't do it.
No. What I'm saying is that I would definitely wish everybody, because what's going to happen is everyone's going to post about the yellow wheels, right?
Right.
So if somebody wins with yellow wheels, let's just say Dakota is the biggest threat, then there's going to be a huge surge of people going for the yellow wheel win. And you know what? I could not be happier. That's what I was trying to say. I couldn't be happier for somebody to win with yellow wheels than Dakota if he could get it done. And my list won't look as nice, but hey, I'm down. He deserves it.
Randy's saying, when was the last time yellow wheels won at the Worlds?
2011.
Wow. Dang.
Yeah, it's big stuff.
And who was the winner with that? Do you know?
Cavallari doubled up there with yellow wheels.
There you go, Cav.
But since then, it's been
doubled up.
Yeah, he won both classes there in Finland in 2011.
Damn, with yellow.
But it's been a dry spell, so man, I don't know. It could happen.
Gabe saying that Kinwald won in '97 with yellow wheels,
He did.
which I've been on Gabe's YouTube channel, checking out all his videos on there.
He did.
So what you're saying is yellow wheels will spike in sales.
Well, I think you're going to see a lot of yellow wheel fans coming forward. You're gonna see a lot of fans coming forward. And you know what? I could not be happier than if Dakota was able to take a win for the Yellow Wheel Nation.
Is there black wheels?
Yeah, Masami's won with black wheels.
Yeah, but what about now? Do people run them?
And pink wheels, Masami won with.
Oh man, pink. Yes, there we go.
I mean, that could be a whole nother stat altogether. Actually, I've looked at it before. Anyway,
You looked at it before?
I have. I've kind of went back and looked at all of them.
And let's not forget about Joel Johnson. 87.
Yeah.
What about it? Yeah, I know.
They were yellow wheels, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, that's what's coming in the kit.
Well, like as checkered past is saying here, pink wheels. Masami has one with pink wheels.
Yeah, this is the thing. Like white, I think that's obviously you can't rock yellow wheels with a certain paint scheme, so that's what it is. White just goes with everything on there. So, Mel Marks checking in on YouTube. Got some YouTubers in here now, Jason. It's growing a little bit. I have been to a few Desert Classic races, and the track felt grippy at times, then loose. Always had issues with consistent grip.
And I think what he's stating there is it is pretty common that I think the racers feel that way, and certainly I think it affects more drivers in the modified class than it does in the 17.5 and 13.5. Because when I'm here and I'm watching, I feel like the classes like 17.5, 13.5, like the guys love the track. They can kind of do what they want. They can drive at the speed they want. I feel like the modified guys struggle a little more than normal because there's something about the last minute and a half to those races that make things a little more difficult. And that seems to show up in modified a little more than the other classes. So,
Man. I think we got a little bit of debate on the Joel Johnson 87 edition, though.
We do.
I mean, looking at photos, the front rims look yellow, but the back are not yellow.
So it's a split decision.
I guess.
Look at Brett Kingsbury. He's just stamping it. He just says Spencer's winning both classes. Like, it's just like, poof, he's just like, done.
Yeah. All right.
And you know what? It's possible. I would say his chances are very good. I think what you have to do if you're Spencer is you try to continue to do what you've been good at on this track. And that's be consistently fast each time you're out there. There's people that have very they kind of come and go, right? Like they spike and then they have a great run and then a poor run and a great run and a poor run, where his consistency has been very good over the years. And I think if he continues to do that, you have to take what that gives you, because that's something that it's hard to do. And so I like his chances.
John Bolton saying the front wheels on Joel's car were yellow. They crossed the line first. Yellow wheels for the win.
Wow, that's a pretty good way of looking at it.
That is. I love it. Randy's saying, I think Joel was a dark horse in 87. I do. I don't think anyone saw it coming. Right.
Well, they probably didn't.
Which I've been down that rabbit hole on YouTube watching all those old worlds. And then it gives you suggestions, and there's people that posted stuff from early 80s. Like, it's just crazy, man. It's like I had no idea a lot of that was out there. But I've been watching the Gene videos, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's videos of like from I think it was Ranch Pit Stop from like early 80s. Like, and a lot of cool videos out there. Drew Spurgeon saying to your earlier statement, Paul Wynn and Jackson Brunson are a good father-son duel. Okay. Jason, Tom Bishop ordered Scandinavian swimmers off Amazon, and I have done the same.
He's going to do testing.
So I'll have him here too.
Okay, good. So we're going to have a big test session.
That's the mixed fruit, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Soft and chewy gummy candy.
All right, that's the one I ordered. There was only 2 bags left.
Oh man. Yeah, so let's get some more comments here from anybody watching. What do they think is going to happen, and if they have any questions, we can try to come up with something.
Here's one. Tom Bishop saying not national level, but Andrew and I hold our own father and son team in the Northeast.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, what you don't see very often that you see with, I saw with Tom and Andrew at the Turf Nats is them in like the same races. You don't see that very often at these events where, maybe one will be in one class and one will be in another class in the family. But what you see often, or very rare, is you see them in the same race, which is kind of interesting. Like they'll be like side by side and stuff. They'll have one will let the other go, or they'll accidentally hit each other. That's the stuff that is interesting.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Randy's saying who from outside the USA has a chance to podium? There's a lot of guys.
I would say Davide Ungaro, Michael Orlowski, Marcus Carrera.
Schumacher.
Marcus Caro.
We should be good to go.
I appreciate all that.
You want my number?
Tom says it's all compete for bragging rights on the ride home. Yeah, exactly. John Bolton saying, is this a test for an endorsed official pit snack? The Scandinavian swimmers. Got them coming. They'll be here on September. Wait a minute. I think they'll be here Monday, actually. Yeah, the 11th. So I'll have them on Monday. Sweet. Sometimes it's a quiet ride home. I'm putting Jason off mute. There you go, Jason.
Like Randy just said. So, Marcus Orlowski, Ungaro, and then Cato. So there's 4 guys right there that could, I think, international drivers that could podium potentially. We just don't know on a couple, unlike Davide Ungaro. We haven't seen him run here, but he got second at the 2-wheel worlds last time. So I don't think he's really afraid of this class, and something tells me that he's going to be pretty good. So
Drew's asking, is Bruno running?
yeah, that's another good point. Drew, Bruno is the defending champion in 4-wheel, and he's a 2-time world champion in 4-wheel, and He did do the warm up here, I believe. I mean, he did make one of the mains, and it was in the B main and the other, I believe. But yeah, it's just, man, you got to think that he's going to be. I mean, I didn't put him in my guys that could, an international racer that could podium, but I mean, he is a two-time world champion in four-wheel. I don't know who to put in there and who not to, but he's definitely one that needs to be.
Dave Bowman is asking, has there ever been someone to win an 8-scale and 10-scale world championship?
I don't think so. The closest to it happening was in 2019 when it went to an A3 and two-wheel, and Spencer beat Ungaro in A3. Otherwise, if Ungaro would have won, he would have been the four-wheel drive. I'm sorry, he would have been the 8-scale world champion and the 10-scale two-wheel drive world champion at the same time, which is just insane. Like, if that happens or could happen, and it could happen this time.
Jeez.
Because he is the world champion again in 8-scale. So he could, if he won again, and then you gotta say, like, all right, what's going on here? Because I mean, traditionally, those two classes are hard to win separately. To win them in the same cycle, just, I don't know. It's possible.
Tom saying that there's a lots of talent at this race. You're going to have to hit your marks better than the rest.
Yeah, it couldn't be, said any better, really. You're racing for tenths of a second. You're always racing for tenths of a second, but in this situation, you're racing for tenths of a second to get your way into the A main at the Worlds. So those bobbles, you can't crash. You have to be amazingly fast to crash and turn in a top run. There's only been a few guys that could do that over the years, but in this, you're gonna have to be spot on, and people realize that. You can feel it when you're just in the pit area. You can feel the racers. They already know.
So I was reading the article. I think it was under Spencer's Facebook page he was talking about pressure going into this race. Like, he doesn't feel like there's much pressure on him. Like, he's trying not to put all the pressure on him because it's his home track. So he was talking about how the last Worlds, because he's defending back-to-back, he's trying to go back-to-back here. And he was saying how he wasn't expected to win at Slovakia.
Right.
And as I'm reading that article, I'm thinking, so when he won, like, there was no pressure on him because he wasn't expected to win. So he won. Now this one's sort of like, oh, this is his home track. Spencer should probably win it. Like, it didn't say that. Like, I was thinking as I'm reading it, like, you think there would be a lot of pressure on you on this one.
I think that there always is. Some people do well with that. Other people don't. I think Spencer does do well with it.
And the thing is, like, if he wins, everybody's going, oh, it was his home track. Right? And then if he does it, they're going to be like, well, it's his home track. Like, but like Spencer said in there, he's like, there's a lot of guys that run here, and it's free to the public. They could come here and run anytime they want.
Yeah, I watched the same event or I read the same article. And, no matter what, there's a lot of pressure, I think. But there's never as much pressure placed on you as you put on yourself, right? Like, none of your sponsors are saying, hey man, you gonna knock it out of the park for us this time. None of your, sponsors are really saying that. It's the pressure you put on yourself. And it's been my experience that Spencer handles that as well. if not better than anybody else. He doesn't mind he understands that there is something that comes with it, which I think is important to know. And I think if he said that there's not any pressure, you know what? There is. But there's pressure when you're at a club race and, you're running with somebody. I mean, I always found that it was harder to beat the people you're supposed to beat than the people that you were the closest with, like, because you weren't supposed, like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're racing head to head against Dakota Fend or Brock or Bruno, or anybody, and you don't win, nobody's going to be like, oh man, sorry, you blew out. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're racing the best, right? Like, it's like everyone kind of knows, like, hey, it's tough. So I think that, I think as long as you race up to your ability, I think people are satisfied. Sure, you want to walk away winning it all multiple times, but you have to realize that it's not always a perfect scenario. You know, winning these type of things can come down to the final main, one bobble, one jump wrong, something that doesn't go your way. You never really know. So I think what you have to do is you shoot for the podium. If you think a win is in your grasp, you go for it. And if you get one win, it's an amazing weekend. And then if you can go for another, you get greedy and you go for the sweep. But if you shoot for the podium, and when you get in that position and you're feeling it, you go for it. And then if you win it, then you get greedy and go for two.
Yeah.
Someone up here mentioned about somebody that could win both. Yeah, there's several guys I think could win both. It's very rare. I think Masami, Martin Actor, and Mayfield are the only three that have won both classes at the same 10 scale worlds. So that's pretty.
Yeah. Mel Marks is saying Schumacher family for the win, and Ty could be in the mix as well.
I think he's right. I think this is probably, well, it is. This is Schumacher's best shot to win a Worlds since probably Masami ran the car in '87. And I think Ben Sternum, I think was his name. He got second at the '93 Worlds with the Schumacher. But yeah, this is Schumacher's best chance. Paul, I've talked to Paul about it. Paul believes that he thinks they're going to surprise. He had, some thoughts that they're well prepared, and he thinks they're going to be very, very tough.
Do a slide. Oh, yeah, I was hitting. This is the photos that Hannah took today. Johnny G's asked me to do a slideshow.
Yeah.
I just been going through them as we're podcasting here, so that's a real cool. I like that photo there.
Yeah, that's from the corners just as you kind of walk in the building.
Banner looks awesome up there. Let's see, there was something up there I missed. Oh, here we go. John Bolton's asking if you have any new products coming out here at the Worlds.
We do. We're showing a couple things. We haven't shown it yet, but we do have a few new things. So keep an eye out. Keep an eye out.
Which eye?
Both.
All right. Checkered Pass is asking, do you know the measurement of the track? How does the location compare to the previous tracks? And also, Jason, are you sad that the Worlds will never be on a loose, fluffy dirt like those of the 90s?
All right, so hold on. Let me scroll down here. Let's see. The measurement of the track, I do not know. Maybe Randy knows there, Randy Locken, but if I just looking at it, maybe 110 by 80, something like that. 120 by 80. It's in that range. 120 feet by 80 feet, something like that.
Johnny G is saying the track looks hard to me. Yes.
I mean, they're all hard. Every race I go to now. Every race I go to now, I'm like, I'm always looking at it, going, man, I'm glad I'm not racing on this track.
Randy's saying he's not exactly sure on his size, but you're probably pretty close, though, I bet. So
I think what he was asking was what was originally there before Hobby Action. And I do think that there was something in there before Hobby Action. Like it wasn't, it's like
it wasn't always Hobby Action. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say it was a pet store, like a PetSmart or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, so go back to the other question about first was the size and then something about the other surfaces or something.
There we go. Does it make you sad the worlds will never be on a loose, fluffy dirt like those of the early 90s?
I think there's sort of an in-between. I think, to me, when you look at some of that stuff, I don't think that it's the most fair for racing a big race like this, because I've raced on a ton of, true outdoor dirt tracks, fluffy dirt, whatever you want to call it. But what the biggest problem with those surfaces is they're not consistent. And when you're racing a race like this, where you have, I think they have 14 or 15 heats here, 14 or 15 heats, it's hard to keep a track that has that type of condition and that type of, you depend on the moisture in the track. You can't just let a track be fluffy. Like, it doesn't work. Like, you have to keep watering it. You have to keep watering it to keep it fluffy. There's a lot of maintenance you have to do. And I think that if you tried to have a race like this with that kind of surface, it would be hard from race 1 to race 14 or 15 to have identical speed of the track, especially in today's day where everybody just kind of, I'm not going to say they know everything, but especially when they're online, everybody knows everything. You're from race 1 to 15, it's going to be hard to have a consistent surface with speed. I mean, you're talking about you're racing for tenths of a second. So consistency of the track is really the name of the game to have a successful event. If you're going to have a track that changes, I mean, when we raced, if you got water or you didn't get water, the track was drying out or the sun came out, it changes everything. So if you got a track, even a Blue Groove days, if you got a track where the sun came out, in 10 or 15 minutes, you could have a much better run than somebody else because you got sun and somebody else didn't. So I think this is, for racing like this, this is good. From an appearance standpoint, it's nice to have the loose or fluffy dirt. But what I think is a good in-between is just maybe if you had pin tires and you did race and maybe it's Blue Groove outside, it's like a Blue Groove outdoor track, and Lee Setzer's back here at the place. He's entertaining me
Oh,
here
no.
to the side. But so
All right. Well, that was 256. So
he's being quite entertaining over here to the side. But
yeah, I bet.
well, yeah. But you know what? He brought this up today was I mentioned earlier that somebody had said that 2025, it's hard to say this, 2025 Worlds is going to be in Australia on an outdoor track, and they're talking about running pin tires. So I think that's the good in between is being able to be on a track that you can run pin tires, but you're not depending on the track being wet to produce the quickness and the speed. Because if you're depending on that wet dirt, like they were really in the 91 Worlds, the one that's really popular to look at on YouTube, then, you know, it's hard to get that kind of consistency. So I think there's a good in between. And I do think that we need that. We need that bad because there's a lot of people that, especially viewers and old school racers that love that look and that racing on that condition. And that it sounds like we're going to see a little bit of it, a little bit come 2025 in Australia. So we'll see.
And Australia uses oil, so it should be good. They spray oil on the track, Jason. No comment.
Well, usually what that does is it really helps with tire wear. At least it did when they had used that in Thailand in 2010. We were in the 8 scale world in Thailand, and they kind of put something like that on the track, and it actually made the tire wear pretty nice.
Where's this being held at in Australia? Like the track?
Sydney is the city, but I don't exactly know the track yet.
Yeah, maybe somebody will put it in the chat here. Do they have a YouTube channel we could check out? Start preparing now.
Well, they do that's a country that still does a lot of running outdoors in 10 scale. It's a lot. It's very rare now in the U.S. You know, it does happen, and we have some of them in Florida, but there's more. You know, there's definitely a lot of them in Australia.
I wonder if it's the same track they ran in, was it 91 World?
89.
89.
Yeah, I don't think that. I think that was.
The car actions throw me off because it was a 90 car action.
Yeah.
The update.
It takes a little while to get there, you know. But I'm looking forward to. You know what? I just don't want to see the same condition all the time. I'm okay with having this condition or a glued track or a sealed track, but I just don't want it to be the same all the time. As long as it is a little different, I think it keeps it interesting and maybe keeps the balance a little better.
You were close on the track side. I think you said 110/80. It's 100 by 75.
Yeah, so there you go. Caliper eyes.
Now, is this track gluten-free? Because I know Allison's there.
It is.
And good. It's a gluten-free track. Good. With 2,900 yards of dirt. So there you go.
I mean, if you take you got a 40-yard truck. You know, traditionally, a dump truck. I think they have 40 yards. It's a lot of dump trucks.
Maybe you meant 29 yards.
No. I'm sure it's 2,900. To build a track, you have to have a ton of dirt.
Checker Pass is saying another Astro or Carpet Worlds. I want a Worlds at Robin Hood in the UK.
You know, we've talked about that a little bit, about how that would be a great location for the Worlds at Robin Hood. I don't know if they've put in for it, but they would be a cool location.
cool the amount of listeners we have from the UK too. I appreciate you guys. And we have listeners in Australia too. You can see the map and everything. It's pretty cool.
I think to what Randy's saying here, the late '80s, early '90s tracks were better, and you know what? There's a lot of truth to that, and I do think that we're due for a kind of a reboot. I've been saying that a little bit, but I think that eventually 10 scale is going to have a little bit of a reboot, and we're going to see some backyard tracks. We're going to see some things start to happen again, where I think drivers are going to just start doing it organically, where they build these tracks that are like this 100 by 75, 100 by 80. They're going to build these in their backyard, and you're going to start racing. I think you're going to see that happening. I think it's going to happen. I don't know when, but I think it will.
Oh, here we go. Jason Santos saying, pretty sure they still race at the 89's world's location. So
it is. Well, I don't think they're going to have the race at that location, but that location still does exist.
Okay. Which I think I ran across that on YouTube, by the way. So
yeah.
Tom's saying back in the 80s and 90s, you had to race the track with the changes. Now you're racing setups to compete.
Yeah.
John Bolin, we are now talking about grassroots track and those Hobby Haven. Right there's another one. We are rebooted at Hobby Haven RC track. Great outdoor dirt to run on, rip fronts, and double D rears. Hobby Haven, which I look forward to maybe visiting one day. But that's definitely what you were talking about, Jason. That's why I like that track.
Yep.
Randy's saying it's all about tires today. 80s and 90s was car setup. Would you agree with that statement?
I mean, when I race, as long as I've been racing, it's all been about tires. I mean, to be honest, I don't go quite as far back as Randy, but I started in the end of 1990, and from the end of 1990, when I started, all the way till now, to me, the tires have always mattered the most, and I love that side of it. I always did when I started. I like this kind of goes back to what Tom said. You racing the track, but to me, racing the track was we had to pick what tire to run, and that was by visual. You looked at it, you seen was it dry, was it wet. You looked at was the inside line different than the outside line? You looked at was it dirty? Was it having any issues? So you had to consider all that before your qualifier, and then you would choose your tire based off of how it looked. And I think you learned a lot doing that because you had to live and die with that, and with your decision, you had to make a decision. You had to make a decision, and you had to live with it, and that's what I liked about it.
Mitch York saying, bring back the Losi X pattern.
I ran those a little bit. I never really liked that tire all that much, but I also didn't race in Southern California and some other places where it was definitely a big indoor track. Where I know RCHR, I happened to race there one time. I know Randy raced there a bunch, and I think that was the hot tire there. You cut them in half. Well, what Kinwald told me. Kinwald, when I went there, Kinwald said, look, I cut him in half to start, and then before the main, I cut him in half again. So that was Kinwald. He bought a brand new set of X patterns. I don't remember if he was putting in foams by then. He probably was. And yeah, brand new, cut him in half, and then before the main, cut him in half again. That was his setup.
John saying we need new step pins. Love Losi 4 rows and X pattern.
Yeah, I mean,
Losi 4 rows.
what Matt has here is in his photo. It's funny because I think that's like a Losi, maybe a Pro SC or a Pro on an old school track. But yeah, I ran Losi 4 rows. We ran those in Savannah, Georgia. Patrick Rossiter. What's funny is there's two Patrick Rossiters. His dad, Pat Rossiter, who I met first, and then Patrick, who I didn't meet till many years later, of course. But we used to run, 4 rows all the time there. We used to run them some at Lake Park. It was such a small, the Losi 4 rows, when you look at them today, they're tiny. They're really narrow and they're small. Cool look. It's a cool, fun tire, but they're small.
Checker Pass saying, what does Jason think about 10 scale worlds tracks being built fresh from the ground up, like the 8 scale race in Vegas, versus running on existing tracks like Hobby Action?
I like that idea. The only thing that you'd have to do is you'd have to know something about if you're going to have the controlled tires. Now you have to know, all right, what is the surface going to be kind of like? Are we going to pick a controlled tire that kind of works? You kind of have to you'd almost have a little test race or just a test session to figure out what you're kind of going to do and then pick the right tire for the track. And I think other than that, I really like the idea. Other than I don't know that it'll ever happen again because you really need a lot of people behind you to do it. And you got to have the support. The sponsorships aren't as big as they used to be in this game for races like this. I know Richard Saxton, he's told me many times he ran that race at the 2000 Worlds in Vegas, and he said he got $90,000 in sponsorship money. And by the time the race was over, he still had $6,000 of his own money in the race. So,
dude.
So he and that's great. That's exactly what it tells you is how much it cost him to do that event. It was over $100,000 in Vegas in the parking lot there at the Silverton, I think is what it was. And how expensive it was. And to do that, you'd have to have somebody now. You don't get as deep of, I'm sure here they're probably lucky to get. I'm sure they were lucky to get less than half of that for sponsorship towards this race. And so I wish you could do it, but somebody would have to have kind of like a lot of money that wanted to do it. And then and good connections, or a manufacturer that just wanted to do it and, take on all the costs. I don't know.
Jeff Todd's asking, how was this particular controlled tire chosen? How did IFMAR select this brand?
The track selects the tire. The only thing you can't do is you can't have the same brands back-to-back years. Okay. So, for instance, we did the controlled tire in 2013. In 2015, it was the Schumacher tires on the AstroTurf. 2017, they chose Sweep tires for the race in China. 2019, they used Proline in Slovakia at Hudi Arena. And here they used the AKAs, mostly because that's the track's decision. So when they asked us, I've said this a few times on the podcast. They asked us to do it, and I actually said no, because when we discussed it as a group, I kind of felt like, first of all, it's your best tire. So we have to dedicate a ton of our best tire, our best inventory to this race. And then two, we have a lot of fast drivers that are local And I kind of felt like the first thing that happens at these events, no matter when I go, whenever I'm going, if there's somebody that's very good, they always accuse them of cheating. So my idea was, well, if we just completely are out of the whole tire part of it, if we're out of the, this tire side of it here, none of our guys can get blamed on that side of things. And I felt like that was a better road. Just let them do, it's a good picture of the tech area. And, you kind of go with it. So I think that, in my opinion, when they asked me, I said that I didn't want to do it because of those two reasons, because of the, dedicating a lot of inventory to it. And then the number one reason was it kept our drivers kind of in the clean. There was nobody that would say, well, Jay Concept somehow, I mean, they make up so many stories at these races sometimes. Several years ago, they were saying that we paid off some technical inspector somewhere.
Oh my God.
I brought in a briefcase with like $10,000. I forget. People make up the craziest. People make up the craziest stories, and I'm like, you know what? I think the best thing is we don't participate in the controlled tire here, and you go with the AKA, which I knew would probably be the second or the other option, and I think it's working. So far from what I've seen, it's working, and it keeps us out of it. We can concentrate on the other products as we have before. And I think it's working well so far.
Randy's saying sounds like JC would be the controlled tire in Austria.
I mean, I don't know for a fact, because nothing has really happened yet. But I mean, we, like I said, we did the Worlds in 2011, and it's a lot. People invest a lot of time into doing that. Allison spent a ton of time with the race organizers there. I think, she spent a lot of time working on that.
Your secret currency, the JCon secret currency is Chick-fil-A and Starbucks.
It's not bad. It's not a bad start.
Randy's saying as long as everyone's on the same tire, then the brand doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's the idea of the whole thing. Is you evens the playing field. I mean, there were so many years where there was tire wars at this event, so that's why they decided to do that. And I don't know, it was fun. I mean, I was part of the tire wars for a while as a racer. As a racer, you could bring in special stuff, but I mean, today, man, it would be if you brought in the hot thing here, and people would go nuts today. Just not like the old days where it was fun.
Yeah. Someone no, I'm missing some questions here, but Matt's saying that he needs me to dress up in Masami fashion in honor of the Worlds. Oof.
Not a bad idea.
It's a bad idea. Jason's bribes are simple. The trick is getting past Allison.
That's probably a good start.
Matt's saying he just cracked open a beer and waiting for Gotti to start crushing on Joel Johnson so I can start the drinking game. You did miss it then because we were talking about him.
Yeah, we had a little bit. But when that car comes in, you're going to be going crazy.
Yeah. So, Matt, I think you missed about 6 or 7 beers. So go ahead and chug those down quick. All right. I guess we'll, head on out here. I appreciate everybody for joining us. This was pretty good. So,
yeah, I mean, we hopefully, if we're done in a reasonable time, maybe we can do another one here while we're at the event. Yeah, you're kind of going through the slideshow here now. showing some photos in the background. So
always fun. So yeah, I appreciate everybody joining us for. I'm trying to read these. I'm trying to read everything coming in, but yeah, should be fun to watch and see how it all plays out, man. It's gonna start getting busy tomorrow.
yeah, it's kind of everyone's a little antsy to get out there, start ripping some laps. So yeah, I'm excited.
All right, so that was 256 from the Worlds. Jason at his Airbnb. Oh, Corey Jordan wants to know: will you see a front wing at this track?
Maybe.
Ooh. Mitch York is asking Jason, will the new P2K body come out for the 2.0?
I don't think so. I think we're sticking with the three styles we have currently, which is S2, F2, P2, and there might be a new one, but it's not the P2K. We may have another new one too. May see it this weekend. I don't know, maybe.
Ooh, keep your eyes peeled, as they would say. Anyone running upside down? This is like a lightning round towards the end of the episode here. Is anyone running upside down shock setups yet?
Nope. I haven't seen the upside down shocks yet.
How about lay down shocks?
No lay down shocks either.
All right. And for the next podcast, Jason, 257, the big debate on the next podcast will be the Scandinavian swimmers. Because you got your pack there. Tom has his on the way because he ordered some off Amazon, Jason. As I did also. So they will be here Monday.
They're not bad.
Right. So maybe not. We'll catch you midweek if Jason gets a break in the action like this. If not, we will catch up post Worlds and hopefully a successful one for us.
Thanks, everybody.
See you then, guys.